So I get home and I'm sitting there, I'm trying to cook some dinner, and I get the notification on my phone that the Buffalo Sabres have signed Owen Power to a 7-year contract extension. What? Didn't we just do this 2 days ago with Rasmus Dahlin? That day I was walking under the London Eye in London before I had come home. Now we're on the eve of the Sabres season, and they make another move 2 days later. So, 7-year deal, 58.45 million. I think that's the number. It's $8.35 million per season for Owen Power. 7-year contract extension. I love this move for the Sabres. Couple different reasons why. The first one is there were always two options with Power. It was either going to be a bridge deal or it was going to be a long-term deal. I'm always in favor of the long-term deal because the salary cap is going up little by little, but it is going up in the NHL, and you know that Owen Power is going to be a guy who is worth that for a long time. Owen Power, I think, was a little bit it's different. When Rasmus Dahlin got into the league, you know the upside was there. And Rasmus Dahlin has turned into an elite NHL defenseman. Owen Power stepped into the league and was immediately solid and had flashes of, okay, this guy's going to be really good. I think that maybe his ceiling isn't as high, but his floor was higher and safer than Dahlin's was. So I think for a contract like this, you didn't need the short-term bridge contract and then eventually the big deal. With Power, you could go right to the long-term deal, and you know it's going to be a good thing. The other thing is I've always thought good teams build their teams one of two ways. Either you got a really good goalie and you build around your goalie and you have to have some other pieces too, or you've got great centers and you've got great blue line. I think for the Sabres, you've got now pieces to build around with Dylan Cousins and Tage Thompson, both on long-term deals. And then on the blue line, you have Rasmus Dahlin, Owen Power, and Matthias Samuelsson. So in the last year or so, year and a couple months, Kevin Adams has managed to get all of those guys signed for at least the next 7 years. So you know how much money you're paying these guys, what the core of your team is making, and then that gives you all of that extra knowledge to know, okay, here's what we can afford, here's what we can't afford, here are the moves we can make, here are the moves we can't make. So just overall, I really like the deal because I really like the player, right? It's got to be both things. You got to like the deal and you got to like the player. Owen Power immediately stepped in, and you were like, wow, this guy's good. And I think that he's going to take another step this year. I don't know if Owen Power is ever going to be the 80-point, the 90-point defenseman in this league. Maybe he will. If his shot gets better, that's totally feasible. But I think he absolutely can be a 70-point guy for a long, long time. And he's always going to be one of the most underrated players on the team, and he's always going to be one of the most unsung heroes on the team. And now you have him. He's 20 years old. He turns 21 in like a month and a half. You've got this guy under contract for the next 8 years in the absolute prime of his career. And then, because he's an awesome athlete and player, he's then going to get another massive contract, whether it's from the Sabres or for somebody else. So I like the deal for both sides. I like it for Power. I like it for what this means for the Sabres moving forward. Their foundation is set. The future is bright. And hey, they play hockey tomorrow. We'll see you there.